People think German beer is just lager, and I get it. Most of the beer you get in the UK from Germany is lager. Most of this is lager, but it's not blonde. It can be dark, it can be unfiltered, it can be pale ale, it can be all sorts. These are the beer I sell at the Old Cross Tavern. I'm going to walk you through them. I'm going to break them into sections, and I'm going to explain why German beer isn't just lager. Okay, so let's kill the myth before we get started. Lager isn't a style, it's a way it's made. Lagering is a way that beer is made. It's made at low temperature, it's made over a length of time. What it doesn't tell you is what colour it is. There can be gold, it can be dark, it can be unfiltered, there can be brown. So let's get into this. I'm going to cut these down into portions and we'll do them one at a time. We'll explain what they all are. Let's cut to lagers. So here we have Helles versus Pilsner. Both similar in colour, both similar to look at, both very different in taste. The Root House Pilsner is from the Black Forest. This is bitter, it's more tart. If you want your lager to have a bite to it, this is it. Let's get it in a glass and let you see what it looks like. Then we'll pour the Helles next to it. We'll do the Augustiner. That's the most popular one. I'm literally going to get it all in a glass. So Root House means Red House. This is from the Black Forest. This is state owned and one of the most well respected Pilsners in Germany. Next up we're going to open the Augustiner. Augustiner is Munich city. Tegernsee is Munich countryside. So I was in Munich a couple of weeks ago and we were in the Keller house, Keller bar, we were drinking lots and lots of this. If anyone knows me, they know this is one of my favourite beers in the world. If you have a look, they're both similar colours. I'm going to try and get them under the light. They're both very, very clear gold. So let's try the Root House first and see what we get. Again, it's got that smooth, bready smell to it. It's nice and smooth, but it's got that bitterness to it. Just has that little bit of a bite to it. So let's give this one a go. I've tried this one loads of times. Again, softer, rounder, still got the maltiness to it, but not the bitterness to it. So these are two separate lagers, but they are very, very wide apart. Again, we stock the Tegernsee House. We've also got this on draft at the moment. Where are we now? We are in May of 2026. This is a fantastic beer, very, very different in similar ways from the Augustiner. The Flotzinger is a one-off we've got here. Again, it's a great Bavarian example of what good lager is. These are all around a similar 5%. Augustiner is my favourite. If you want something pale, soft and easy, the Helles is definitely for you. If you want something pale with some bite, then the Root House is definitely for you. Again, I'm not going to pick a favourite. I love the Helles, but the Root House is a cracking pint. Again, it's just got that nice bitterness to it, a little bit of a bite. I'm trying to think what lagers in this country would have a bit of a bite. So if you've ever had FS Pilsner, even Peroni to a certain bit, Peroni has that kind of sharp bite to it more than a lot of the other lagers, Cruz Campo, Birra Moretti, stuff like that will be more softer and have not no flavour, but they'll be softer than something that have a little bit of a bite. So that is Helles and Pilsner. Next up, we'll show you some export beers. We've got what you would call export beers. We've got the Augustiner Edelstoff at 5.6, and we've got the Tegernsee Max Joseph. So there's something between the Helles and something a little bit stronger, and it's a style, it's literally called export. Fuller than Helles, slightly malter, and definitely stronger. I was drinking Edelstoff out of a cask or out of a tapped barrel in Augustiner Kellerbier a few weeks ago. The Max Joseph is from Tegernsee. This one's named after a Bavarian king from 1806. I'm gonna get the Edelstoff open just to give you a little look at what it looks like. Again, very similar in colours to the last two lagers. I won't open the Max Joseph because they're both pretty similar, to be honest. So you can see that nice light golden colour again. Nice big chunky head on it like that, while eating great plates of meat in sauerkraut. I'll give this a little taste. Again, straight away you can smell a bit more malty, a bit more yeasty than the Augustiner. Just fantastic. They're both really, really easy to drink, which at 5.6 and 5.2 is a bit terrifying. But if you've had a couple of Hells, again, we do the Paulaner Hells on draft, and we've got the Tegernsee Hells at the minute on draft. If you want to have a nightcap or have something up from that, something with a bit more kick, if you want more of a premium, stronger lager, these are your ones. I'm not sure if this would be called a Dortmunder, but that's export strength. So let's move on to the next style. So next up, I've got a Kellerbier. It's a Keller Märzen, this one, so it's a crossover. Lots and lots of beers crossover. So a Kellerbier literally means cellar beer. So this is unfiltered. So this is how it would have been originally. Straight from the cellar, straight from a cask, unfiltered. So there's nothing wrong with it in its haziness. It's just had nothing taken out. So this one, being a Keller Märzen, is dark and unfiltered. So we're going to get this in a glass and let you see. We had some Keller beers on draft recently. So this is going to be, imagine lager, as we've just seen, if it hadn't been filtered. So it's just as it was made, and this is what you'll get. So just a little bit darker. Not a great deal, to be fair. This is more of the colour of beers I generally see in Spain and Europe. I'm not sure if you can pick up, it's just got a slight haze to it. It's not cloudy or hazy like a crapper would be. It's just not been filtered. So it's still got that nice, just off golden colour. Again, so there's more caramel on the smell. So let's give this one a quick chin chin. Just move this one across. No, we'll move it down. And we're going to move on to Dunkels. So we've got a few Dunkels at the pub. We've got the West Weltenburger Dunkel. So this is dark German beer, but it's still a lager. Dunkel just means dark. So this one is from the Weltenburg Abbey. So this is the oldest monastery brewery in the world. Opened in, started in 1050. Yowzers. It's been voted the world's best Dunkel a few times. As you can see on the back of these two, they've got the Bavarian purity rule. So again, we've got this one before, which I've never had before, which I can't pronounce. We'll call it Zickola Dunkel. Dark and unfiltered. Again, so we'll probably get this one open. I've not tried this one yet. And I said this is one that's the oldest brewery in the world, 1050, and it's won Best Dunkel a few times. Let's just get rid of some of that. So straight away you can see how much darker that is. So you've gone from the Hells and the Pilsner, which are gold, and you move to the Kellerbier, which was slightly off gold, but not quite brown, and now we're properly into. So this is still a lager. It's just a dark lager. But now we're getting yeasty, malty, biscuits. Oh, it's just I'm going to give this a little chin chin. Again, it's dark lager, but it's not stout. It's a lager, but it's not a Hells. Again, I've said this before in other videos, I think the more I do German beer, the more I see a closeness to English or British cask ale. This is where we start getting into cask ale territory, in my opinion. This is very, almost best bitter kind of territory. Again, absolutely fantastic. So we sell all these at the pub at the minute. All these beers in front of you are on sale at the pub at the moment. We do change some in and out for seasonality. we tend to go more lighter, so the darker ones will disappear in the summer. Well, that's been Dunkel. So now we're into Bock and Doppelbock territory. I believe Bock means malty, and I think Doppelbock means double malt. So now we're into the really, really darker, really, really maltier, much, much stronger. The Paulaner Salvatore was invented by monks for Lent. For Lent you couldn't eat, so they brewed a beer which tasted like bread that you could drink. The only trouble with this one is it's 7.9. This is Augustina Maximator. Again, it's a very similar beer. This one is 7.5. This is new to me this year. I've had it and it's absolutely outrageous. The Paulaner Salvatore is fantastic. So I'm going to open this one first. So 7.9. Let's get it all in the glass. Again, a similar colour. It's kind of halfway between a Keller and a Dunkel. So we're kind of still in that cask ale. Best bitter smell. Look, so let's give it a smell. Again, it's just loads and loads. Bread, malt. Yeah, it's just malty and bread. Let's give it a good chin chin. I can show you the brand because it fits Prost. Oh my God. We've stepped up to a different level now. This is nightcap. This is one for the road kind of beer. This isn't your first beer of the day or your middle beer of the day. This is your last beer of the day. I made the mistake of having one of these on Saturday at about 5-6 o'clock. Nothing else you drink today will compete with this. Absolutely outrageous. It just says that they made this because they couldn't eat for Lent. So this is high calories, high ABV. So imagine drinking 3 or 4 of these at 7.9. Wow, I don't know what those monks were doing other than sleeping. So those are Bocks. There are Bocks at lower ABVs. I don't have any Bocks at the minute. We're currently in May. So in Germany, you'll be getting a lot of May Bocks as well. Can't seem to get them in this country. I have looked from suppliers and I have asked. Again, I'll pop up a little photo in a second. I was in the Augustina Keller bar a month or so ago, and we got speaking to one of the people who worked there who seemed quite high up, who out of nowhere brought us these 2 glasses. I'll pop a photo up in these lovely little glasses, and he made us drink it, and it was a Maybach, and it was as gold as a lager could be, but it was like this in it you knew it was strong. It was 7 point something, he said. He let us keep the glasses, which was brilliant. But yeah, can't seem to get Maybachs. Let's move on next to the Marmite beer of Germany. You know what one I'm talking about. Let's move these out of the way. We're talking about the beer of Bamberg. The Schlenkerla Märzen. This is a Rauchbier. So this is a Märzen that's been made in a similar way that Islay whiskies are made. So this is smoked. All of their beers are smoked. They do a smoked Hells as well, which we've not had. So if you, this is think TCP, think bonfires, think bacon, think baked ham, and this is everything. This is. I've tried it loads of times. I used to hate it, and I kind of like it. So I am going to open it. I'm going to give you a quick look. I wish this was smell-o-vision. If this is smell-o-vision, again, like I said, the Marmite beer. Love it, hate it. Again, similar colour, slightly dark. Let's get a nice big head on it. So what's this ABV wise? This is 5.1. So again, it's not massively strong. Straight away, it's like Lagavulin. It's like Lefroy. And the worst thing is, if you can get past the smell on the nose, the smell on the nose is really, really smoky. Really, really smoky. So let's go for a chin chin. I'm going to have to get through this big head. So the smoke on the smell dies down. It's still there. There's less ham and bacon for me today. That's really, really smoky. Again, that's really, really Lagavulin-esque for me. You're either going to love it or hate it. And the trouble is, it's nearly a pint bottle. And if you hate it, it's a long way to go back. So that is a Märzen. Again, we did the... where is it? We did the Keller Märzen. Let's show you what colour that one was again. So again, this is a crossover. This is a cross between a bit more cloudier because I haven't got all the bits at the bottom. But you can see the difference. Let's put the bottle up. Where did I go? So you've got a Märzen Rauchbier and you've got a Keller Märzen. It's a Kellerbier cellar. So cellar's unfiltered and it's a crossover with a Märzen. But again, you can see the difference. Let's move on. So I'm going to do Altbier next. So if you're not aware of Altbier, Altbier is from Dusseldorf. Alt means old. It doesn't mean the beer's old at all. Again, Altbier is a darker beer, not unlike the ones we've just seen. This is 4.8%, so this should be copper coloured, slightly more malty than a normal lager. Let's get this open. Again, this is more of a pale ale than a lager, but again, you can see similar colour to the Märzen, but it won't have anywhere near enough taste. I'm going to have a little drink of water to try and get rid of that taste for me. So let's see what the Altbier is doing. So this is Dusseldorf. This is very, very close to Cologne. Cologne have Kölsch, Dusseldorf have Alt. You don't get Kölsch made anywhere else, and you don't really get Altbier made anywhere else. So these are quite specific to where they are. Again, compared to the Rauchbier, it's not smoky, but it's got a nice little bit of malt to it. There's almost a slight sweetness to it. Let's give it a quick sip. Again, really, really easy. It's not massively malty, but there's a little bit there. But yeah, I'm going to keep that here because this is Dusseldorf and this is Cologne. I think there were 9 different Kölsches in Cologne. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. We've got the Riesdorf, I went there. We've got Gaffel, I went there. We've got Fru, but we've only got one left, so it's going to stay in the fridge. I'm trying to think who else I went to Peters. I went to Dom. So there's a lot more. I know some get slate and some don't. I do have Kölsch glasses, but tonight we're having a German beer tasting, so I'm afraid they're upstairs, ready to be used. So I'm just going to reuse these pint glasses. I'll pick probably the Riesdorf because it's colder and it's probably my favourite of the two. There are slight differences, and again, this is also a pale ale. When I went to Cologne last year, I thought these were lagers. I knew nothing. I'd never been to Cologne. I did a little bit of digging into what it was all about. Again, it was lots of small, almost half-pint, skinny long glasses that they keep bringing to the table. And the only way to stop them is to put your beer mat on top, otherwise they'll keep bringing you beer. Like I said, we went to all these different brew houses. We went to the Fru brew house first. Gaffa we went to the same night. Peters, we went to Riesdorf the next day. They're all very, very similar, but they're all slightly different. So again, I'll put links in the description. I've done videos on a lot of these beers that you can watch to see my reaction. And my first reaction to a Kölsch, I'd never had a Kölsch before. I tried it sat here, And it was, wow, I expected lager, I expected malty, I expected a little bit of bitterness and nothing else. And it was like a fruit hot bomb in my mouth that I just wasn't expected. Again, Reestuff was one of my favourites, so chin chin. Again, it's that, oh, it's just that floral fruitiness to it. And like I said, this is 25 miles away. And what different beer cultures they have. But this is Germany in general. The beer culture in Germany is just second to none. And the seasonality they still have in their beers still goes round. Obviously, I went to Munich for Springfest. There's Oktoberfest. And the beers changed from Märzen's to Hell's, to all these different beers. So that's those. I'm just going to do a little mention for a couple of other beers. I'm not going to try, but we sell. So what we sell that sells really well is the Paulaner Weiss beer. We also sell the Zero Alcohol. Again, I've done videos on all these before. So if you're ever in Hertford, come to the Old Cross Tavern. We have all these beers. Comment below which one surprised you most. Which one would you like to try? Which ones have you tried? If you like these videos, please like, subscribe. It helps me reach further people. And let me know in the comments what you want me to do. Otherwise, I've been James. This has been the Old Cross Tavern's selection of German beers. Maybe next up I'll show you my Belgian beers. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.